Now, the academic calendar of the country's public tertiary institutions is on the verge of derailment as university teachers begin a nationwide strike. University Teachers Association of Ghana is unhappy about government's handling of conditions of service for its members and will stay out of the lecture halls indefinitely. The teachers reluctantly called off a similar strike over same demands last year on the condition that their concerns will be addressed. But after the exhaustion of the timelines, they say government is yet to act on their demands. UTAG is demanding payment of realistic research allowance as well as a restoration of members to a 2013 agreed basic salary level. Dr. Samuel Kusibuede is calling for transparency and sticking to timelines promised by government in addressing their concerns.
Different scenarios, because I mean, these are the things we do. We have looked at actuarial implications, we have looked at, done the projections and worked different scenarios and presented to the employer. That, look, we know, we are very much aware that looking at the economic situation, there is no way you can pay everything to us. And so we have worked different scenarios and look at if you want to increase it by X, Y, Z and all that. So we are very open. But I think that the challenge we have as leaders of our union is that we come in, we listen, and then you go back to your members and you have so many things coming up. And especially when the employer does also not meet the timelines, it creates a certain level of distortion and a certain level of integrity crisis for everybody. And so as the labor consultant indicated, if we are very transparent, if we stick to our timelines, then we will not be here. And so for us, it's not an entrenched position at all. But one thing that is sure is that if anybody wants to say we want to go to court, we want to do X, Y, Z, I will advise. If we take that option, then we are not ready for a solution, because we haven't created this problem. This problem has been created by the employer, and we have served notices. As far back as November, we started asking for implementation of certain things. These things were not done. We are ready to engage any day, anytime, but let us stick to timelines, let us stick to agreements, and let us be progressive. Things that we will do that will not continue to make us worse off or just to buy time to make us worse off. No, we are very clear in our minds that we will not budge to any of these things.
But Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Dr. Ofosu Asamoah, responding to concerns of the teachers, expressed shock at the latest decision. He assured of meeting the aggrieved teachers on how best to end the strike.
So they have already embarked on the strike. Moving forward, at least from their end, what are some of the things that you feel could be done so that very rapidly we can do away with this situation and maybe the teachers can return? I mean, what has been discussed so far from your end between the two parties?
This morning, as I talk to you, I'm on my way to the office. I'm in touch with the ministry. When I get to the office, I'm going to talk to the chairman of the commission and then we'll do them for it. But certainly, it calls for settlement.
What was the last statement you made? You're saying it calls for settlement. Is that what you said?
It calls for settlement. Once there's a strike, it means there's an issue. If there's an issue, it must be settled between the parties. So that is what we proceed to do.
All right. So I just want you to practically, you are at the helm of affairs. At least you are in there. You know, over the years, these situations have cropped up. What are some of the likely remedies we can have in an instance like this?
When parties are unable to agree, we bring in a mediator or we subject to arbitration. So, one of these forms of settlement.
But what could be the possible implication on academic work as the university is prepared to resume? My colleague Manuel Kransing has been speaking with some students at the University of Ghana on the back of the strike.
We are not really happy about it because already the COVID has brought some distractions and has put our distractions within our studies. So we are not really happy about it. We really want the lecturers to come around. this week or next week to start our academics year.
Well, so if they don't come this week or next week, as you are asking, then it means that your academic calendar is going to be thrown out of gear. Am I correct?
Yes, I guess, because during the pandemic, we were given a short period to study a lot of stuff. We wouldn't want that to happen again.
Okay. So when COVID-19 came and disrupted the academic calendar, a lot of content was crammed into just a few. Let me speak to Ellie also. Ellie, you're also a student here. You're in your final year also.
Level 400.
Okay, so tell me how you're taking in this news of the lecturers embarking on the strike.
Mano, this is very unfortunate news to us as a student, as a final year student. We weren't expecting something like this to happen at this particular point in time, because as I speak to you, I'm currently embarking on my project. I've started the first part, and as we speak, because of this strike, when I speak to my supervisors, they say they are on strike officially today. So from today going, I cannot speak to them and get informations and outcomes to whatever I'm doing. So I'm yet to start the lab work. I actually did a field trip, so I'm yet to start with the lab work. And you know how lab work is. We are now being initiated to the whole process. So time and time, you may have to consult your supervisor to be able to know what to do at any point in time. The lab technicians, they don't have this chunk of knowledge to be able to take you through the process. So the lecturers going on strike at this particular point in time, for me in the sciences, is a very unfortunate news for us.
And it's going to affect academic.
Yes, because maybe this may last for at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and this means that we may have to rearrange the whole academic semester, and this pushes the whole graduation, my graduation, into somewhere after October and November. But you know how you have to plan your life such that you start the national service in time and move on to other careers. Yeah.
Labor expert Austin Gyamfi advised the employers that a government to open up to UTAG on what it can afford in terms of meeting their demands.
You must learn how to dance and not worry about the cloth you are putting on. Sometimes you may be compelled to say that it's your cloth that is worrying you. The law is very clear, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the law that we have. The problem is the capability, the skills. Now, if you don't have something, you can't give anything out.
Right.
That is the point. Now, the employer has a responsibility to engage the union leaders.
Right.
If they engage them and they are 100% transparent and bring about sunlight on the thing, nothing should be kept under any dark cover. If you do that, because it's not only about pay per se. By the way, comparison with our neighbors will be the most dangerous thing to do, because our economies are not the same.
Right.
We are all having challenges. You know, if you take Nigeria, you want to compare Ghana to Nigeria? What is it?
But just a quick one there, Mr. Gyamfi. I remember, for example, there was, I don't recall, but one of our institutions tried recruiting someone, I think, and the person, it was on social media from another country, and the person stated that even in his position in his university, this was how much he was earning, and coming to a supposedly higher position in Ghana and, you know, getting a pittance would not work. So wouldn't you say that being professionals, okay, these people are professionals, and it comes with extensive publications and how many years they have lectured, what titles they bear and all of that. Isn't it only fair that even in considering the fact that the countries are different, there is a certain base, a certain minimum that is expected? When you don't meet those minimums, can people not complain about it or make the comparisons?
Why not? That is something that we all do. But when it comes to situations like this, and people want to do comparison, that is what I meant by saying that we should not, at this point in time, venture into it. I've been in the trenches about negotiations, across board, within and without. And I do know that comparisons can be made, but circumstances and the timing is very important. That's why he rightly said, look, don't try it, because if you try it, we'll run into a ditch. To be honest with you, our situation here with our lecturers, if you like, is as such that we need to be very honest and open and talk about it in a manner that will not run our educational system aground. If they do a lot of work with me also, and I can tell you that they are unhappy. Some of us have pleaded with them, even on our knees, and I suggested to them certain things they should do that would enable them go back to school at the time. And they responded positively, and they went back to school. Now they have started again. I want to tell you in very, very transparently that the employer has a responsibility to engage them now. I'm not talking about tomorrow, today, so that they can understand and appreciate the challenges they have, but on condition that they will not be vilified in the public domain the way we have been doing it. They are not, excuse my language, they are not stupid people. They are lecturers. They know what to do, and therefore, if we vilify them in public domain the way we sometimes do, as if they don't know, they will get entrenched, and that will make life very difficult for all of us. Let them be spoken to, and I can tell you on authority that they will listen. They know what to do. If they have to go back to school, they will go. Because if the employer do not have at all, there is nothing absolutely anybody can do. Let me say the last thing.
Right.
Look, the fear is this. They are demanding certain things. They want it negotiated. They want it paid. The fear of the employer sometimes is, if we give it to them, what about their comparators in the same system?
Right.
Will they come after them, the employer? Yes, they will come. And therefore, part of the thing is that, look, we cannot pay it, because if we pay, it means we must pay other people too. All these things should be made clear and put on the table. Because if we are paying people 7% for the year 2022, obviously, and our inflation is X, what it means is that there is a gap. And that's why restoration, the language restoration is coming in. So we really need to be very, very open in this case and call a meeting urgently of not just the university lecturers after their engagement. Maybe the negotiating committee meeting should be called by the fair wages so that they will engage to prevent people from going in pockets. Let's deal with the thing holistically and save the situation. We are in trouble if we don't know.